What is up, my Patreon fam? Thanks for the love, thanks for the support. Hope you're doing well. I'm coming at you today with a video about fasting, actually, and something I learned from on the Thought for Food podcast when they did their everything to know about fasting and what is the science around the medical impacts and the health impacts of having, whether it's intermittent fasting or long-term water fasting, things like that. And I think while I'm not obviously interested in doing any sort of real fast, I'm exercising all day and I love to eat food and food is good for you. I think I can implement some teaching and wisdom in the idea of a longer, prolonged nighttime fast that could actually aid in my lifestyle and recovery and health. So the podcast that they did, you should just go listen to it, Thought for Food podcast on iTunes. And they just go through all the science talking about different types of fasts, what they've done for people, and pretty much their conclusion is that for the average person who's just living life, and not like going on some 20-day water fast, but the way that you can use fasting to help improve your health, actually reduce risk factors for cancer, for heart disease. There's all this studies to show the benefits of sort of intermittent fasting, which means prolonging your in between dinner and breakfast. It's that simple. That's all it is. So what they talked about, and it makes so much sense. It's actually simple. You don't need to be a science nerd to even understand it. But your body's like a machine. It takes in food and it has to do work to digest and process that food and assimilate vitamins and nutrients. It's literally a machine. It's like cogs, and not actually, but it's akin to that, to an actual machine that humans build. It has to, it's work in order to process and digest food, which is why when you go to bed, that's where all the healing happens in recovery, because your body doesn't have to work to process food. It doesn't have to work to move your body around. It can actually heal on the internal stuff that it needs to work on. That when you're going throughout your day, you're like breaking down, kind of. So, what they recommend in the podcast is essentially to slightly extend your fasting time when you sleep, meaning for like a gold standard for just an average person, it means having dinner around 5 o'clock, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock, and then not eating anything until maybe 7, 8, or 9 in the morning, which for most people is a slightly longer fast. Most people eat around maybe 7 is their last bite of food. Maybe they have a midnight snack at 10 or 11. Again, that's just more inputs and more little work for your body to digest. And then you wake up early and have breakfast. So you're not giving your body that really long time, like 12 to 14 hours of actual just rest in order to heal during that time. And when you're just putting in food, it actually, this was the craziest part, it messes with your circadian rhythm. Similar to how if you are looking at screens or bright lights late at night, it could make your sleep not as strong because it tricks your brain into thinking that it's like daytime. The circadian rhythm stuff is real. They went into the research in the podcast, and when you eat some food, it jump starts your whole system to say, hey, it's time to, you know, worry about what we're doing with the day and be alert, because it thinks that, okay, it's like the morning time, you just ate something and it's ready to go. So that's why, other than it's just fun to eat late at night, and sometimes you do that. Last night I had 2 servings of ice cream at around 9:30 at night because I just live my life and it's all chill and good. But I have in the last few days been trying to not like snack at night or have dessert, and kind of making my fast as I sleep longer, because to be honest, I work insane hours. I work till midnight or 1 in the morning almost every night editing videos. And like this morning I got up at 6 because just in my head I have so many videos to edit and emails and things to do, and I love to work. So I'll be honest, I don't sleep too much. I probably get like 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night, and that's kind of crazy considering I'm biking so much. I should probably be getting 8 or 9 hours. So I'm trying to figure out ways to improve my sleep quality time, because the quantity, I can't really get it up because I have so much work to do. So I think this fasting thing, I'm going to try to implement it by like eating. And the beautiful thing is there's no calorie restriction that has to be involved, because you can still eat your same amount of calories throughout your day. You just do it in a slightly smaller window, maybe from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. instead of from 7 a.m. to midnight, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try to do it. I think I did try to do it for a few days, and I noticed my quality of sleep was better when I wait like 2 hours after my last bite of food, or 3 or 4 hours even, until I go to bed. You're just chiller. You're not as like jazzed up and thinking. You're just like ready to clonk out. So I really appreciated those guys doing that podcast. I also learned crazy information, like the longest fast, it was like 380 days or something, with an obese person who just lived off of his fat stores for that long, and I think he took vitamins and stuff. So that was crazy. Fasting is complicated though, because in the eating disorder community, I think a lot of people go to fasting because it's a excuse in order to practice your crazy restrictive diet. I don't believe in that. I think that if you have a strange or unhealthy right now relationship with food, fasting is not a good idea. Don't worry about this intermittent fasting stuff. Don't worry about a water fast. You need to worry and focus. Well, don't worry at all, but you need to focus on just being more casual and not treating food as so important, and just being a normal human. But if you don't have an eating disorder, eating disorder behavior, and you do want to learn how to, like, maybe you feel a little tired when you wake up, you're feeling sluggish, try extending your fasting window. Try eating dinner earlier and maybe eating breakfast at a normal time, or even an hour or two later after you wake up, and see if that makes an impact on your overall energy. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you have any experience with it, any more recommendations you can give me on how to just boost my performance a little more, so I can do my best to keep this lifestyle up, because it takes a toll on me, my body, my mind, my sleep, but I love it. But I'm always looking for ways to just make it easier on myself and do better, just so that I can have more energy and do the best of my ability. So thank you for the support. I love you all. Comment again with more video ideas, and I'll see you next time. Peace.